Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Pentiment. Last time we left off, we were hanging out over here because the last few places I have left to go are the Scriptorium, the Prior's house, and the library. Because I don't actually believe I went into the Prior's house, yeah? So, Prior! What do we— ooh, that looks important. What is this, a Volvel? I've seen these before in astronomy and medical tracks. What's this one for? Oh, this looks like it's too smart for me. 2 wheels. The top wheel has Greek letters and holes cut out to reveal Latin letters underneath. Weird. Greek— so these are the Greek letters and then these are Latin. And the other edge of the lower wheel is divided into 4 sections, each bearing an elemental symbol. Yeah, earth, water, air, and fire? Greek, Latin, and elemental symbols. It's obvious someone with occult interests fashioned this. The lines connecting the holes form constellations: Cassiopeia, the Great Wagon, Libra, and Aries. Yeah. I mean, I feel like this one's pretty self-explanatory, but this one's a bigger jump. Ah, a quarter turn of the upper disc aligns a different elemental symbol with the top of the lower disc. And that reveals a different set of letters underneath. I wonder what it's for, a cipher of some sort? Need to investigate more. This has to be connected to something else around here. What? Oh god, that's confusing. That is very, very confusing. Oh, my head. My head, it pains. Okay, are there any updates here? No. And, let's see, this, yeah, that's just the map. Yeah, I mean, these are just the various different tabs. Oh my god. I still don't know the significance of the Volvel. It must be used to decipher something, but what? Okay, so I need something I need to decipher. Yeah, so I need to find some sort of code or something somewhere. Alright, let's go check out the Scriptorium. Hello everyone, there's Brother Piero, and Guy! Is that actually your name, or is it just saying that's a guy? Just a random guy. No, your name is Guy. Good day, Andreas. How was your morning going, Brother Guy? It's fine. More contracts for the abbot. Which would you rather be making, contracts or manuscripts? I honestly don't care, Andreas. As long as the abbot is impressed, he could have me write the first chapter of Genesis until Judgment Day. Does the abbot's opinion mean that much to you? The abbot and the priors both. You're lucky. When you're done with this, you're going home. I'm never going to see Burgundy again. I need to make the best of the next 40 years. Powerful former duchy of eastern France that became a province in 1477. Known for its wine, art, monasteries, and courtly fashion. Cool. Oh, look at the kitties! Oh, there were kitties back there. Then I'll leave you to it. Something interesting a commenter actually mentioned that I thought was really, really cool. They mentioned the idea, the characters talked about masterpieces at some point. And right, in current day, masterpiece basically just means a fantastic piece of art. But apparently back during this time, a masterpiece, if I'm understanding the commenter correctly, and apologies if I interpreted this incorrectly, but apparently a masterpiece was the piece that you made when you advanced. It's like the first piece you made on your own. It was from when you advanced from apprenticeship to a master. You made your masterpiece. Which is so cool to me that it's like this origin of this word that we take for granted, and it has some, you know, totally different origin that I've never thought about before. So that was a really, really cool comment to read. I believe that was Tillman that said that, so cool stuff. Always love finding out new things. Oh, this isn't Brother Piero, this is Adok. God bless you, Andreas. How are you feeling today, Brother Adok? All mill? All mill. All mill. That's easy, I am well. Well done, my son, it is early. I will give you a harder one later. Okay, you just gave me an anagram? Look forward to all your anagrams, Brother Adok. Literal nut. Oh yes, until then. Oh my god. Okay. Wow, you just throw out anagrams. Interesting. There's another kitty. Oh, there's 3 kitties. And then yeah, there's a dog and a kitty. That's a chunky kitty. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I felt the need to appreciate the cats in the illuminated manuscript there. Here's Piero. Okay, yeah, that was Adok. This is Piero. Okay, and then yeah, there's the Old Bailey. Okay, so what am I actually missing? Andreas, God bless you. So good to see you. Good morning, Brother Piero. Good to see you as well. Unlike this weather, my bones ache. It means a storm is coming. Big Jord Gertner says that if you live here 10 or 15 years, you can smell storms coming. Brother Adok has been here long enough that we can always smell him coming. Do not forget, Brother Guy, the fate of youths who jeered the aged prophet Elijah outside of Bethel. You're comparing yourself to a prophet, Brother Adok. I am comparing you to an important youth whom the Lord, in his ineffable wisdom, may choose to strike down. Brother Guy, please show more respect to Brother Adok. You're being mean-spirited. Calm yourself, Brother Adok. You're sensitive to Guy's jokes. I mean, I can take a side here, basically. Do I want to side with Brother Adok, or do I want to side with Guy? I don't know. Show more respect. You're being mean-spirited. Maybe I should just say no. No, saying nothing is boring. Calm yourself, Brother Adok. You're too sensitive to Guy's jokes. I am old, Andreas. Every slight against me stings with the fire of 1,000 wasps. But I will pray to God for the strength to endure this wickedness. Well, everyone seems quite lively. Suppose that means Prior Farine is not overseeing us today. He was here, but then he heard Lawrence Rothvogel had arrived, and he hurried out like a little mouse. Yep. Rothvogel's here. Farine is so desperate to impress the abbot and nobles like Rothvogel, it's pathetic. You feign kindness to Father Abbot and our prior only to speak about them like this behind their backs. It's shameful. Oh no, Baron Rothvogel, this manuscript. I just realized that you'll want to see his manuscript. How silly of me. Of course that's why he's visiting. Perhaps if you were younger and faster, you wouldn't need to worry so much about patrons' visits. Guys, someday you stand where Piero and a young monk will stand where you are now. I feel like saying this, Guy. You are being kind of a dick. The Baron is just one client. He has to wait like everyone else. That's not true at all, unfortunately. Guys, someday you will stand where Piero is, and the young monk will stand where you are now. Anyway, what's the problem? The Baron is just one client. He has to wait like everyone else. Andreas, Baron Rothvogel is not like anyone else. He has powerful friends, including the Prince Bishop of Freising. Prince Bishop of Freising. Religious and secular ruler of scattered territories in the Holy Roman Empire, including the lands containing Tassing and Kiersau Abbey. Wow, okay, so you're friends with the prince of our territory. Great, let's not piss you off, like I already did. Kiersau is already out of favor. Father Abbot does not want to have to deal with more attention. Well, if Prior Farine isn't here, I'm going to work on my masterpiece until he arrives. Let's do it! Oh, that's right. I need to reference the Indermauer manuscript. A prominent family of the Swiss Confederacy and Austria. There's the big kitty. Look at them. That looks like one of my kitties. Okay, I need to reference a manuscript, which means I need to get into the library. Is this what the secret passage is for? What do you want, Andreas? The book. The Inder manuscript, the Book of Hours. Your hair looks messy today. Did you get enough sleep? No, because I was dreaming of you. I mean, come on. We're a hedonist. No, because I was dreaming about you. Liar. Could I just get the book? Ugh, that's all the way upstairs. Can't you get by without it? Sorry, but I really can't. I need a reference for my work. Really? My feet hurt and the stairs are so steep. I'm just going to ask Illuminata to get it. Sister Illuminata! Yep. Oh, poor Illuminata. Or is that Illumirata? Okay, Illuminata. Andreas needs help finding a book, and I don't know where it is. Andreas? Sister Illuminata, I'd like to borrow the Maler manuscript, the Book of Hours. Yes, I overheard. Here, please return it promptly. Thank you. Well, that's beautiful. Andreas, may I see how your masterpiece is coming? Of course, your opinion is always welcome. Oh, it's so pretty. Yes, the composition is lovely. There's a joyful spirit to your arrangement of the figures. Contrast of colors is also quite nice, rich and beautiful on their own, but not overpowering the scene. It doesn't feel right, I don't know why. It's an excellent interpretation of someone else's work. You're saying I don't have enough of me in it. Brother, you know I don't like doing more work than I have to. Yeah, I mean, we are hedonist. I gotta lean into my traits here. I'm not saying you should do more work, but suggesting that there should be more of yourself in the work, yeah. Didn't know there was room for me in here. That doesn't concern me. Will that make process creating another Book of Hours more fun? I didn't know there was room for me in here. It is inescapable. We all put ourselves into our work, whether we realize it or not. What does this painting represent? It's November. In November, we show peasants leading the pigs into the forest to forage an acorn before the slaughter. On acorns before the slaughter. Andreas, the peasants here are no longer allowed to forage acorns in the forest. Many great lords and abbots across the empire have forbidden it, even Father Gernot. What difference does it make? This is the way November is painted. But it is not the way November is. Not anymore. Art is illusion, storytelling, but in their most sublime form. These images illuminate a path to truth. It's most important to me that my clients are happy. They won't pay me for truth. Yes, but with God's grace, this Book of Hours will outlive us all. What will it say to those who see it in a future generation, centuries beyond our comprehension? Yeah, that's always something interesting. When you're reading primary sources in history classes and stuff, you're always sitting there secretly wishing that these people had written down more. It's like, no, describe that thing you just talked about in passing for like a sentence. Because that's an incredibly important event, but they didn't know it at the time. You just want to go back in time and shake them and be like, write it down! Some will gaze deep into your lines and paint to seek a deeper meaning. What will they find? But you need not listen to my opinions, they are just the thoughts of one old monk. I agree with you, Piero. There is no place for them. There's no place for the monastic scriptoria anymore. In truth, this room is a place out of time. Does that make you sad? I admit I am still fond of the old styles of lettering and illumination, but even in my youth I knew it could not last. The creation of books, of art, is no longer the province of monasteries. So be it. More people will be able to write, more will be able to read, and in so doing, be brought to truth. Don't you think there's a danger in anyone being able to write, anyone being able to read anything? No. I don't agree with that at all. I think the more knowledge people get, the better. I'm sure rulers and stuff think that, because they want to keep people stupid, but I think there will always be a place for artists like you and Brother Adok. Oh, and Brother Guy. It's kind of you to say so, Andreas, but you need not be concerned for me. I have lived a long life, and am happy to have served the Lord. When he calls for me, I am ready. Seems like Lord God and stuff is just like put in red for emphasis, basically. Alright. Getting out of here. Poor old monks. Yeah, guy, why you gotta be such a dick to the old monks? They didn't do anything wrong. Ah, there's the time gone. It's already terse. Monastic hour corresponding to 9 a.m., one of the little hours of prayer. Terse precedes Mass and the chapter meeting. Too much talk. I must ask forgiveness for not honoring the rule. The Rule of St. Benedict of Nursia is a book of instructions for monks living together under guidance of an abbot. Written in the 6th century, the rule provides the principles for living a monastic life, so like no talking while you're working. Until later, Andreas. Until later. Okay. Oh. Oh god. I spilled the— oh! What are you doing? What are you doing, you shifty bastard? Uh-huh. I saw that. I saw that, and I saw your occult shit. Oh, we're on to you. What's going on in here? Or, oh wait, no, that's Illuminata. One sec, Illuminata, there's some shit over here that I gotta inspect. No? It won't let me inspect it yet? Okay, let's go talk to Illuminata then. Hi, Illuminata. Andreas, what was that noise? Oh, I'm sorry, Sister Illuminata. I knocked a bowl of paint to the floor. This is such an interesting game because it's at such a big time period of change. We're not only seeing, like, illumination being kind of taken out of popularity, but there's a big changing both, like, politically, in the church, all kinds of things. This is a very, very interesting point to set a game, and not one that you see done often. Very, very cool so far, but also makes me sad. But then prior for— oh, I was this whole time I was thinking that was an E. Ferenc. Prior Ferenc. Came in, wrote in one of his books, slammed it closed, and left. He was in such a hurry, I don't even think he noticed me. Yes, slamming doors shut. Prior Ferenc should know better than that. Some of these manuscripts are quite delicate. He seemed to be in a great hurry. I think he's on edge since Baron Rothvogel arrived early. Which is why books should not be taken out of the library unless it is necessary for divine reading or work in the Scriptorium. Divine reading. Lectio Divina is the thoughtful reading of and meditation on Scripture. The practice leads to prayer and contemplation. It is a daily part of life in Benedictine communities. Are you still mad at me for borrowing Chronica Clara? Well, that reminds me, there are a few more books I've been wanting to borrow. Chronica Clara. The Clear Chronicle, A History of the Universe from Creation to 1082, written by Irish monk Marianus Scotus. History of the Universe from Creation to 1082. Interesting. No, anger is not an appropriate response for a nun. But the fact remains that you tricked me into giving you that book for no valid reason. Not valid? Is it not valid to want to see the work of one of the great Irish scribes? So be remembered, one who wrote masterworks that even now grace libraries at Cologne, Fulda, and Mainz. You might not like that. Large, powerful, free, imperial city on the river Rhine, it is a major hub for commerce between Italy and the Netherlands. It is also a popular site for pilgrims, as its cathedral contains relics of the three wise men represented as crowns on their arms. Interesting. Yeah, it's always interesting. Relics was one of the things that I really found interesting from my classes, because it's not something I'd ever thought or really heard about. But the idea that they're, like, basically obsessed with collecting Bible memorabilia, basically, is just— it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. Located on the Rhine River, Mainz is the home of the Archbishop of Mainz, an elector of the Holy Roman Empire, and Primus Germanae, the Pope's substitute north of the Alps. And Fulda, town built around an old Benedictine abbey near the center of the empire. Fulda's abbots are imperial princes and wield great power. No, it's not. Not unless it pertains to your work or the abbot permits it. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait, what's all this fuss about Lawrence Rothvogel? Why is Prior Ferenc so nervous? Lawrence? I didn't know you're familiar enough with the man to use his Christian name. Anyway, I haven't dealt with him personally, but the prior and Father Abbot have. I only know that he's purchased a number of our most valuable manuscripts over the years. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of keeping this place alive, it seems. At least the, you know, manuscripting part of it. And he paid enough to help the Abbey when we needed it. Like what? What did he buy? I can't remember. You know, I have my own responsibilities to attend to. Some occult shit? How about this, Andreas? If you help me recover some missing books, I'll tell you what I know about the Baron. Of course, I'll help in any way I can. Thank you. It's for the good of the Abbey. Where should I begin? Out there, where you and your cohort have carelessly strewn books around the Scriptorium. I will tell you what books I'm looking for, find them and return them to me. First books are 2 volumes of the Aeneid, a poetic epic telling the legend of Aeneas, a heroic Trojan who struggles to reconcile his personal desires with his destiny to found Rome. It was written in the 1st century BC by the Roman poet Virgil. Reddish covers, 14 inches by 10 inches, 3 inches thick. Innsbruck inches or Nuremberg inches? Oh, I know the ones. They're among Piero's favorites. He keeps them by my desk. Maybe I should say this. Maybe I should say this. I don't know. It seems the jokier route. What? Nuremberg inches are. What color are the covers again? Reddish. Yeah, you were making a dumb joke. Oh, I know the ones. They're among Piero's favorites. He keeps them by my desk. They are not his to keep. Yeah, I was trying to make a dumb joke, and then you just gave up, because Illuminata was having none of it. Alright, well, that's the one, probably. Still can't examine this? Still can't examine this. Okay, well, we're getting into some occult shit. There's a fair amount of wear on these. I hope you don't mind. Those volumes were old even when Piero started to make the copies. How long ago was that? 3 years. The Aeneid is not one of my favorite stories, but I understand why it appeals to Piero. Why are you on fire with a knife in your heart? And then, yeah, we're seeing some things here. You two getting down over here. And then, yeah, you're the one over here burning alive, basically. Why is that? You just walked into the book! Aeneas chose his duty to the gods over his lover, Dido. Ah, that's what's going here. Yeah, and okay, so that's you over there, sad. You chose your duty to the gods over your lover. Do you think Aeneas' sense of duty appeals to Piero? We all have our vocations. Brother Piero takes his more seriously than most of the others in this abbey. Clearly take your chosen vocation seriously. And Andreas, I didn't have a choice in my vocation, few women do. You're right, of course. Is it really that bad? Yes, it's absolutely that bad, Andreas. Really that bad? Is being a woman that limiting? Yes! It still is! She's exaggerating, it's fine. Yeah, how would you know? True, she knows her life better than I do. Exactly. Exactly! You're right, of course. I appreciate that you understand how limited our roles and our choices truly are. That's one of the cool things about the Decameron, written by Boccaccio. It actually had a feminist story in it, talking about women's roles and how they need to have more power, if I'm remembering correctly. I remember Boccaccio got a lot of flack for it because it was kind of like one of the earlier feminist readings that someone had made in like Italian Florence or Renaissance Florence. It's very, very interesting. A lot of people hated it, but Boccaccio was like, I don't care. Women deserve to have options, other options, and more freedoms and things like that. I like this that you're walking through the book here. It's so cool. Even in stories, we are maidens to be rescued and wed, cruel seducers of men or wizened crones. Oh, yeah, this is true. Maidens to be rescued and wed, cruel seducers of men or wicked crones. Yeah, I mean, like sirens in like the Odyssey, or women, and the idea of like mermaids are cruel seducers of men. And then you have like all kinds of literature where the trope is that women are maidens in a castle that need to be rescued, or they're like evil crones that are witches that dance in the nights. There's still the idea in like modern literature and stuff of like women being innately tied to magic. And this was kind of something in Italian or Renaissance Florence as well. This idea that women just had access to magic and secret powers that they used to beguile men and things. Just some stuff some weak, shitty men came up with to, you know, try to make reasons why women shouldn't be allowed to get education and should have all of these limits placed on them because they were scared, weak little bastards. It is unfortunate. It is very unfortunate. I'm very, very sorry, sister. Like Tito, we ordinary women are merely tools in the tales of men. We can never be the protagonists of our own stories. There were during this time a few, that you can never be the protagonist, of course, but this was one of the times where a lot of women authors kind of came out, especially once, you know, people started learning to write in vernacular, and books in the vernacular started to get spread around and everything. So Courtly Love had, this is fuzzy in my head, but I remember there being a author that used, she wrote Courtly Love books and things and distributed them under a pen name, I believe. Can't remember exactly who it was, but that was interesting. We ordinary women are merely tools in the tales of men. We can never be the protagonist of our own stories. No woman is exempt from that, from the Empress to a nun. It is our lot. Yeah, incredibly depressing. Suppose I understand now why you are not fond of the Aeneid. It's fine poetry, for men. Now the books, if you please. Yeah, it's fine poetry for men. Unfortunately, a lot of things during this time made for men without thought of women. It is so unfortunate, and it still happens to this day. Thank you. Next, wretched Guerin. This is a printed copy, green cover, diamond pattern. An Italian chivalric romance written by Andrea de Barberino in the early 15th century. The titular character rises from impoverished origins to go on heroic adventures and discover his noble parentage. Originally published as a manuscript, it enjoyed greater success as a printed book. Italian chivalric romance written by Andrea de Barberino. So is this... I'm guessing this was a female author as well, in the early 15th century. Cool. And yeah, it was a chivalric romance. Printed copy, green cover, diamond pattern. I do not have the size in the ledger, but hopefully the description is enough. I know the one you're talking about. Brother Adok was reading it. Alright, Adok. Grab this for you. The beauty of this book truly belies its ridiculous content. I'm surprised the Abbey owns a copy. We don't. It belongs to Amadea Rusco of Lugano. It's a Venetian edition that's quite valuable. Lugano, highly contested Swiss market town located in the southwestern Alps. The Dukes of Como and Milan fought for control over it until it was claimed by the Swiss Confederation in 1513. Interesting. He loaned it to us 5 years ago. It was subsequently lost, and the abbot has received 3 letters about it. I've certainly seen the brothers enjoying it. That book is not appropriate reading for Benedictine monks. Yeah, well, the whole reason, like, courtly love and romance novels were written is because, they were so wildly popular because they were, like, scandalous, because they showed, like, adultery and all of these things that people couldn't do in their normal lives, especially since women were usually just given to a man. The idea of them marrying for love was never a thing, so they kind of lived out their dreams in these books about courtly love and chivalric love, where they meet a nice chivalrous knight, and they fall for them, and, you know, everything like that. Even the Arthurian Tales has some of this, because Guinevere is, you know, married to Arthur, but Guinevere has an affair with Lancelot, so It's interesting how people use these books to kind of get outside their means in their lives, and it was just accepted as a way for people to kind of experience other things that they couldn't normally do. A baby is sold to pirates, raised a servant, then lives a life of adventure wooing princesses and fighting in tournaments. Interesting. You forgot the best part. In the end, Garen learns he has royal blood, the son of a duke. He reigns as a king and dies a pious hermit. What's not to love? Benedictine should be dreaming of reconciliation with our Lord, not lusty adventures. Suppose you're right. It's better suited for knaves like me. It's not my place to reprimand anyone for reading stories, least of all you, Andreas. Still, we must be on guard. Yeah, media literacy and all that. Fantasy leads to temptation. Temptation has led to the downfall of many men and women. Sometimes yes, but books like this, it's all the same type of fantasy, isn't it? To die better than we are born. And what's the problem with that? Why shouldn't a peasant dream of being a king? There is neither Jew nor Greek, nor slave nor free, neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. I mean, I don't agree, because there's still very, very much power dynamics in play. Maybe one in Christ, but we are not equal in this world. Yeah, you were just talking about this. This is why we don't have books written about women, where women are the main characters. It's why, I mean, part of the reason a lot of women are vilified is because of, you know, Eve in the Bible, and just the negative connotations associated with that. For what Eve apparently did that was so heinous, tempting Adam, and all of that. Women definitely got the bad end of the stick there, just from the get, and was used for generations and generations, and is still used to kind of be like, well, women are innately evil. It is interesting, though, how different cultures came to that conclusion, because in Confucianism, like in Christianity, it's like, oh, well, women have these negative things associated with them because of Eve in the Bible, and that's what they're paying for the mistakes that Eve made. Whereas in Confucianism in China, it was the idea that, like, there's yin and there's yang, and women are like, they have the bad part. I forget which one it is, but they have the bad part, and they steal the good essence from men. And basically when, you know, a man and a woman have intercourse, there was even a thing that was like, I believe it's in Taoist religion, that, like, when a woman has sex with a man, when he orgasms, it's like her straight up stealing his life force. It is weirdly depressing and interesting how so many different cultures came to the same conclusion that women should be vilified or are mystical in some way. It boggles the mind, but so many different cultures came to the same conclusion, except for the ones that are, like, matriarchal, of course, but some of them respected women because they're like, well, they're the ones that bring new life into the world, they should be the most important people, but a lot of cultures just sought to push women down. Yes, Andreas. Sorry, I was going on a tangent. Isn't this world you should be concerned with, Andreas? But the book, Andreas, we must return it, or would you like the abbot to receive a fourth letter? I hate to see the brothers disappointed, but I understand. It's not my goal to deprive the brothers of their joy, but to return Almadea Rusco's property. The book, please. Yeah, this is probably some of the only fun these, dorks living in the abbey get. Well, this has been a very interesting episode to go through. A lot of talk happening in this one, but, has it saved recently? 17 minutes, we gotta keep playing. Alrighty. There's only one book left, then you will be freed from bondage. Kinky. A dark red cover, 8 inches high, 5 inches across, 2 inches thick. What is it? The description should be sufficient. Don't know why you won't tell me, but alright, I'll find it. Yeah, your brother Guy was reading it, I believe you said? Now that I think about it, Guy has always been guarded about this book, like he was hiding it. Very good. Please bring it here. Uh-oh, I could have examined Guy there. What is this, anyway? Huh, maybe I should have learned French at some point. What is this? Okay, if I had known French instead of Italian, damn. Why are you asking so many questions? Just give it to me. Uh-oh, is this a banned book? Why won't you tell me what this book is? Because it's a dangerous book, Andreas Maler. One the previous abbot tolerated in spite of a papal order to destroy it. Ooh, it is a banned book! 3 French bishops condemned the book. All copies were to be burned. Its author shared the same fate. Oh, burned at the stake. What? Why? I don't know, Andreas. It isn't my place to question the judgment of one bishop, much less 3. And before you ask, no, I haven't read it, but I know it contains a dialogue between love and reason. So the book is dangerous. When did the bishops condemn it? This is so cool. I love this. 200 years ago. What? Why? Why is it still here? Because of Father Matthias's love of books. All books. He didn't want to see it destroyed. Well, that's something I can get behind. Book burning is awful. We're destroying literature. We're destroying information. He was right to do so. Books shouldn't be destroyed, even if their content is in question. Yes. This will be remembered. The Holy Church does not share your opinion. It is their law we must contend with, not your emotions. Well, they destroy whatever makes them look bad, or whatever is different. It allows them to set the status quo and what people can learn. This is the problem with the church being most of the learned people, and everyone having to go to church and have, the sermons and everything basically translated to them by, you know, a priest or whoever. This was why the Catholic Church was so intent on keeping things in Latin, because they could control what the masses know. This is what Martin Luther's Protestant Revolution was all about, was allowing people to interpret the work in their own way, rather than having it translated for them by a different person that could then tell them that they need to buy an indulgence so that their kid can go to heaven. Sorry. A lot of opinions on indulgences. Fume silently. The church was wrong. I agree. The church was wrong. I'm not going to debate this with you, Andreas, and Father Matthias is gone. It's not my place to question the former abbot's decision, but when Father Gernot learned it was in our possession, he wanted it destroyed. Must the book be destroyed? No one even knows that it's here. I do. So does Mother Cecilia and Father Gernot. Well, I refuse to give it to you if all you're going to do is destroy it. What? Why not? What are you going to do with it? Read it and become a French heretic. I'm not sure. I'll hide it. Keep it safe. Give me that book or our deal is forfeit. I won't tell you anything about Baron Rothvogel. Consider the sound theological reason for allowing this book to exist. Appeal to your duty as the librarian of this abbey to not destroy this book. I propose a compromise. I will take the book from the abbey, far away. Yeah. I'll be gone by the time Father Gernot asks about it. If you like, you can say I stole it. I doubt he'll make a fuss about me stealing a book he wanted destroyed. I don't like this, Andreas. It feels wrong in my heart. Persuade Illuminata. Offered to help Illuminata enthusiastically. Hey, and I'm able to do this because of that. I swear I'll take it far away. It's been out here for years, and besides, how could you have stopped me? I'm trusting you in this, Andreas. Against my better judgment, don't make me regret this. Yay! Success! My first roll was a success. Beautiful, I got the book. Well, that'll probably be pretty useful, yeah? Okay, can I... 22 minutes ago, damn you. Alright, let's keep going. Now then, Baron Rothvogel, quickly though, I need to finish up here soon. Said they buys books from the Abbey. What kinds? Uh-oh, she may only have time to answer one question, so I should choose carefully. Okay, I'm glad I checked that. Thank you, Andreas. I was about to wonder that. I'm like, am I limited? He said he buys books from the Abbey. What kinds? How long has he been visiting? He seemed unusually friendly with me. I don't understand it. He mentioned finding a copy of Historia Tasse. He says it has some scandalous details. Account of the early history of Tassing. Kiersau's previous abbot, Father Matthias, had a copy. Baron Rothvogel brought another to the abbey as a gift. Which one? Usually friendly with me, I don't understand it. How long has he been visiting? Which one? Which one would give me the most information? If you told me the scandalous details in the Historia... Mentioned he seemed unusually friendly with me, I don't understand it. By books from the Abbey, what kinds? I imagine it's occult books. And I also imagine that's maybe why you're unusually friendly with me. Because we've already seen the other character messing with some occult shit. And I imagine this has scandalous details in it that have to do with the occult, but... Let's ask this one. He also mentioned that Father Matthias had a copy and was looking for another to verify its contents. Do you know anything about the book? I have heard of it, but I have never read it, and I know little about its contents. The subject is broad, but I believe the book deals specifically with the Roman occupation of this land. What about this could have upset Father Matthias so much? What do you know about the Romans and Tassing? I have no proper education on the subject. I only know the folklore passed between the locals in this community. And of course, the miraculous life of St. Moritz is intertwined with that of the colony. But you can always ask Brother Matthew about the saint. It's a story he's told hundreds of times. What do you think about the legend of St. Moritz? I have read many lives of the saints. The legends we have written and spoken about Moritz are quite familiar. Do you question their validity? Ideas transcend text, transcend stories. The legends are instruments to inspire us. God knows the saint's virtue. Well, I must be off to Mass. Thank you for your help, Andreas. I suppose you'll be leaving via the crypt. Or smile devilishly. Smile devilishly. What are you smiling about? I'm filled with joy of books, all just a little secret. I suppose you'll be leaving via the crypt. I don't want them to know that I know the secret entrance, right? I don't think I want them to know. I am filled with the joy of books. You are a strange man. Good day, Andreas. God be with you. I don't think I want them to know that I know. I don't think I want them to know that I know. It's the bell for sext. The brothers will be sitting down for dinner soon. Wow, we're sexting? Monastic hour corresponding to noon. One of the little hours of prayer followed by dinner. This game is very, very historical and serious and everything. I gotta add a little bit of stupid humor in there. Should see if Otto is around and still wants to eat with me. Here's Otto. I think he's working by the guest house below the abbey. Few more pages. Dinner with Otto and Indris. Now can I quit? 4 seconds ago. Beautiful. Alright. Well, this was a long episode of Pentiment, but it was very cool. Had a lot of interesting stuff in here, so... Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for some more.